What's good, y'all? It's your girl DeOndria Michelle, and I'm coming at y'all with another video. I'm filming this on my DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I've decided that when doing YouTube videos, I'm going to utilize my Osmo Pocket as I don't get out much of where I live. So I wanted to just touch on a few things. I know that I have not been posting as I should, and it's definitely not because I've been busy. It's just that I have been feeling very uninspired, no matter what I've done, and it's because of the personal issues that I'm dealing with, which is nobody's issue or problem. So, with that being said, I just wanted to let you guys know that I will do my best for those who look for my content to post more. Like I said, I just been feeling very uninspired, guys. Like it has been a tumultuous time. Um, and for me, when I don't feel inspired, I don't feel the need to create. Um, I have been mentally dealing with things. And don't worry, I'm not thinking about, the big S. I'm not thinking about that. But I have been going through things mentally, monetarily, physically. Um, and so I just have not been posting. But today I got a little jolt of inspiration. I wanted to bring something to y'all attention. I was sitting at home and I was watching a film. And I've watched a few films last week and going into this week, even a few shows where I'm noticing that most people are equating cinematic videos with shooting your lens wide open. And I get it, for anamorphic users, you guys want that flare, that blurred background, that shallow depth of field and all that. But sometimes that gets a little boring. I mean, everybody does it. I do it. Your favorite content creator does it. Your favorite famous director does it. Shallow depth of field is cool. But what happens when you decide to push your camera and your lens to their limits? So that's kind of what I did with this video today. Was I shot my lens at an f8. Now I know f-stops are kind of like a guesstimate. T-stops are more better. I didn't feel the need to, the only T-stop lens that I have is my Rokinon. And I didn't want to go through the process of uh, switching out my mounts and all that stuff. Like I didn't want to do all that. It's an EF mount. I still use it because I absolutely love that lens. I love that lens. When it's wide open, my God, crazy work. But anyway, I brought this to y'all attention because I'm noticing that a lot of people are equating, you know, shallow depth of field with it looking film-like. And I'm here to tell you that uh, sometimes it calls for that, sometimes it doesn't. If you're shooting at an f8, you challenge yourself to be in situations to learn lighting. And what that means is a lot of us are claiming the title of cinematographer, but we have no idea what that means. I know a lot of people have been claiming the title cinematographer and they don't know the first thing about artificial lighting. They don't know how to make their light soft without watching a YouTube video. They don't know what, stopping down means. They don't know the technical aspects of cinematography or even the real meaning of it. We're just claiming the title cinematographer because it sounds nice, or it brings people to our page, most of us. During this time that I've been off, I have been diving deep into technical aspects of cinematography, and I've come to find that shooting at an f8 on my camera on Big Della has been amazing for me. Uh, and the video that you're going to see, or the video that you saw at the beginning of the clip, um, man, it's shot at an f8. Every single scene is shot at an f8. And if you know, my bedroom is completely blacked out. Again, not my choice. Uh, my bedroom is completely blacked out, meaning that um, I have a room full of negative fill. I didn't want to add any lights because I felt like that would be cheating for people who don't have lights. And so thank God that the sun was, in its starring role with me today because it beamed through that window exactly like how I wanted it to be. Now, I did use some haze, which is the only thing that I added, and that was just to get the beam of light because I'm still learning to be a cinematographer, and so for me, I still want a beautiful image. I don't want to just do test shots. I actually want to make this video uh, feel not only natural but beautiful too. So I used all natural lighting. That sun was just beaming down. I had an ND filter on, and I only put it to I think 2 stops. I had 2 stops of ND. And my ISO was set to 800, believe it or not. Now, if you have a camera with dual native ISOs, by all means, if it's nighttime, I would think that you will want to be at the 12,800. And for me, I forget what my dual native ISO is, because I don't necessarily use it a lot. But once I find out, I'll let y'all know. But for most of y'all who are Sony users, the 12,800 ISO is going to be your best bet at night. But for the daytime, that 800 is crazy. Now, my native ISO for Big Della is 640, but I felt like, okay, my room is completely blacked out. I'm only using natural light. If I were to have used the 640, I don't know if it would have hit the way it did, because when the sun is beaming in, it's extremely hot. Like it's extremely to the point where like you would think that it was some light beaming out of that window. It wasn't. It was just the sun. But with my room being blacked out the way it was, I felt like if I did the 640, the sun wouldn't have been as potent looking in the frame. So the 800 was sufficient for me. I do recommend shooting at your native ISOs on your cameras, but I also do recommend doing test shots. If you are testing out a camera, please, 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 this is the way to avoid your noise, is to make sure that you are shooting at your dual native ISO and your native ISO in your camera. For me, like I said, it's 640. I have the Lumix S5 Mark IIX, aka Big Della. No, I will not be upgrading anytime soon. I don't feel the need to. I don't feel that I have pushed this camera to its limits as yet. Once I make a feature length film with this camera, then and only then would I consider upgrading my camera. But back to the video at hand, shooting at a f2.8 or a T1.5 or a T2 or a T2.8 is cool. It looks beautiful. I think that shallow depth of field makes your character pop from the background immensely, even without lighting. It makes your character pops from the background. However, if you want your character, or okay, you want your audience to feel connected, not only to your character, but to that character's background. If you're shooting a drama scene or you're shooting in a restaurant or you're shooting on the street, you actually want the people to see that your character is sitting in front of this big, beautiful building or these different kind of peoples, different shapes, different sizes, different color. If your character is standing in front of a garden, perhaps, or a farm, or animals, or anything that is aesthetically pleasing to the eye, I would think that you will want your character to be connected to the background and your audience to connect with the full scene in entirety. I went to go see Ballerina today, and I noticed that they barely use shallow depth of field, even in nighttime. Like the room that they were in, it looks completely black, like my bedroom. And I'm just like, damn, they lit it, but you still see everything. Like, you still see everything because they didn't blur the background. Now, you have some famous directors who go with the shallow depth of field in every single scene. And if you're not watching a film like a filmmaker, you probably won't notice it. It will probably be a thing where you are. I need to move this back some, my bad. And yeah, that's crazy. Um, it's probably a thing where you won't notice it. You're just looking at beautiful imagery. And in your mind, you're thinking to yourself, like, damn, that looks really good. That's what I need to do in order to be a great filmmaker, in order to be a great cinematographer. I'm here to tell you, I'm debunking that statement. I will be doing more videos regarding this topic because I feel like not everything that is cinematic needs to be blurred background. Shallow depth of field is cool, but you want your audience to be connected to your character and your characters to the scene at hand. Because if you have something like Harry Potter, I want to see what you guys built. If I'm looking at Harry Potter's character, his background is obviously beautiful, something that we probably would never see on a day-to-day because we don't have castles in New Mexico. We don't have castles in Chicago. Something that I would never see. I want to see the background. I would love to see the background. So for me, I want to see the background. Now, is F8 suitable for every single scene? It can be, but it doesn't have to be. But neither does F2.8, neither does F1.4, neither does T2, neither does T2.4, neither does T1.5. At the end of the day, I think that as filmmakers coming up in this world, we have to start breaking rules and stop sticking to what people consider the norm in filmmaking and realize that not everything cinematic needs to be blurred. We need to be connected to your character and the character to the actual background. Because at the end of the day, if people are taking their time building sets, we want to freaking see it. Now, if you're in a racing scene and there's a lot of action going on, of course, blur the fucking background because we can't see it. Like, we're literally looking at a helmet or the eyes of the character, and we're not paying attention to the background because our eyes are drawn to what that character is experiencing. Blur that background. We don't care about that. I don't care to see a racetrack. Honestly, I don't. If there's a close up, I don't care to see, for me, I don't care to see the track. But if your character is in a beautiful, even a dirty area, even a gritty area, even, like documentaries and stuff like that. If you're in a place that I've never seen before, I want to be connected to that area. I want to say to myself, as a filmmaker, I want to go there and make a film. So I implore you, if you are sticking to your wide opens, your T1.5s, your T2s, your T2.8s, challenge yourself today. Challenge yourself today to take your camera outside or inside, light that, even if you do it with artificial lighting, light it up and strike that camera down to T8 or F8 and find a reason to record something and see how it connects you to the scene. All right, y'all. That's all I got for y'all. I'll holler at y'all later. I hope y'all return. Peace.